Hi, everyone. This is your host, Layal Syriani. I am here today with the actress Liana Mendoza. Thank you so much for having us. How are you today?
I am excellent. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Of course. We are so excited to meet with you today. Liana, I have to say, I was doing my research for this interview, and I was really astonished by how many hats you wear. You're a producer, a writer, a director, and an amazing actress. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, it's hard enough for me to juggle one job, and you're doing it all. So how do you do it?
Oh, wow. That is a loaded question. I definitely don't sleep. I'm team no sleep. I always have this saying that I'll sleep when I'm dead. You know, we figure we get one life, and as far as I know, we don't come back, or at least we don't remember. So I'm just, like, I delegate a certain amount of time to each specific job. And thankfully, I've been acting for a really long time, so that's actually the thing that's the easiest and comes easiest to me. But after graduating from NYU Tisch, I decided, you know what? There's not enough Latinos behind the scenes telling our stories with our voice. And I started script writing quite a while ago. So that comes kind of naturally to me too. The newer, and the producing too, I've been doing for a while. The newer venture is to be co-directing this film with Trae Ireland. So that's one thing that I'm a little like, okay, let's really, hold on for the ride on this one.
So I'm going to take you back a little bit. When you started, did you imagine they would be doing all that, or you just wanted to be an actress at the beginning and then things just started rolling from there?
Wow, that's a good question. I initially just wanted to be an actress. I initially just thought, oh, you know what, I really love telling stories. I really love connecting with audiences and creating that empathy. But as I went further along, I realized Latinos are only like 3% of, first of all actresses, let alone being writers and directors and producers telling our stories. And I was insulted when I realized this statistic, because we count for 1.3 trillion. And I thought, you know what, I need to take this more serious. Nobody's knocking on my door, right? Because if it's only 3% of us working, then that means I have to start creating jobs for not only myself, but for others. And so I took it very serious, and I decided to go to school to study how to film, how to produce film and television. And so once I completed my education there, I was like, okay, now I'm ready to really take this full force. But yeah, initially I just thought, I'm gonna be an actress and dream big. Somebody's gonna give me the right role at the right time. Then you get to thinking, you're like, wait a second, this hasn't happened, and it's been over a decade. I need to change something. And so this was the thing I decided to do.
Yeah, that's the Hollywood dream, right? Like, I'm just going to show up and everything's going to just fall under my, you know what I mean? Yeah, but you're taking a great step. And as you said, there's so much to cover or to portray in the right way. If you have to choose one thing to focus on in terms of portraying Latinos in the right light, what would that be?
Wow.
Maybe one is, it's kind of like, it's very narrow, but just a few things that you could, on top of your head, that you can think of.
Well, I think that portraying Latinos in a role that shows the both Mexican-American side, because I think that that's sort of a line that's challenging, right? Sometimes, and I knew for myself, in school I had to go to ESL class. I was like embarrassed because I had a little bit of an accent when I speak English. Now it's like, okay, I got rid of the accent. Am I Latina? Am I enough? Am I American enough? So I think finding the niche of balance between the Mexican-American market and portraying that with integrity is definitely something that I'm focusing on. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Let's talk about your last film, The Social Disturbance. You played a magnificent role as a mentally disturbed woman, and this movie changed your career. How so? Talk to me more about it.
Yeah, so Social Disturbance was definitely a chance for me to transform. I think that prior to Social Disturbance, I was kind of known as this sexy Latina chicks, they use the word spicy and things like that, and I was like, no, I'm done with that. So I took my body through a metamorphosis and a change. I was always very fit and very, delgada and just, portray myself this way. And I was like, you know what? I want to be portrayed in a way that helps people look at my art in a more serious perspective. And so transforming for this role, I gained like 65 pounds. I delved into a lot of the mindsets of, you know, people that suffer from mental illness and what the trajectory for their life is. And it changed my life because a lot of people saw me more serious as a producer and also as an actress. I got a lot of great reviews, which I'm very thankful for. Of course, people don't think I'm nice anymore, but but that comes with the territory.
One role and everything is just gone out the window.
Yeah, they're like, oh God, I don't ever want to go on a date with her.
We don't want that, right? It's beautiful the way you put it, though. It's like you put on weight and you changed your body specifically for the role just to be taken more seriously. And it shows how difficult it is to kind of prove yourself in this industry.
Yes, I think that it's challenging for women in general because there's always, of course, like, oh, the stereotypes and the ageisms, and it's like, oh, she's got to be sexy, and if she's a certain age, then no longer is she sexy. Just all of these things that play in people's mind, and I think that as women, we have such a harder time, you know, to prove our viability as an artist and as an actor, and so changing myself or change my physical appearance, as you said, I think definitely helped people go, wait a second, I was looking at this the wrong way. And that's exactly what I wanted it to do. I wanted to impact people and go, wait, she's not just the sexy girl, she really has talent. But they would have never given me the chance before. And so then I started taking things into my own hands.
I want to talk about your involvement in the new season of Proud Family. It's a beautiful show on Disney Plus. Tell me more about it.
Yes, so I can't delve into too much of it because I know that Disney wants to put out something special about my character, which I'm very honored by. But I can tell you that I love the idea that there's a lot of black and brown unity that's going on. And I always say that, you know, we're the minority, but if we all band together, we would be the majority. And so what I really love about Proud Family is they're celebrating both voices in the same show. And it's an honor to be, you know, alongside Eva Longoria and Gabrielle Union. I mean, there's just so many A-listers in the show, and it's just so great to be counted amongst them now. It's really fun, really, really fun, yeah.
Was it your first time using your voice mainly for your role?
Yes, it was. I told Bruce and Ralph and Calvin, who are the creators of the show and the executive producers of the show, I was like, gosh, you guys are really trusting me with this because this is the first time I'm actually doing a voiceover. It's a lot like acting so long as you intonate your voice as if it was movement. So if you're trying to show excitement, you know, obviously on film, it's a lot more subdued. But for this, if you want to show excitement, it's like really going for it. It's a lot like theater, so that helped me to have that background.
That's beautiful, and we can't wait to see it, obviously. It's so exciting. You're also working on something else. You always work on so many projects at the same time. We're so proud of you. Tell me more about the other project.
So we're talking about, I think, Born to Hustle, right? So Born to Hustle is an action film, an action heist film, who was originally created by, or the concept was created by Curtis Elerson, who's also my producing partner, who hopefully you'll interview in a little bit. And we came up with this concept of three very strong, united women. And it's a cross between Set It Off and Molly's Game. In the sense that there is poker involved and there's some narration that goes on, and the Set It Off vibes, which is like three strong kind of hood women that are really taking down criminals and taking their bags and making them their own, and without killing anyone, without hurting anyone. Well, I guess there's a little bit of hurting, but
it has to be. It's an action movie.
No, you caught me there. Yeah, I'm really excited to work with some friends that I've worked with or I've known for a really long time. Quentin Aaron from Blindside, who worked opposite Sandra Bullock. Katie Aubert, who is like such a great, amazing actress. We have Glenn Plummer, who is like a phenomenal actor. We have MC Gainey, who was in like everything from Con Air to Django Unchained. I mean, I'm just so honestly now just taking a moment to soak it all in. I'm like, wow, all of these people are going to be in this next movie, and I'm so thrilled. I'm nervous, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time. I think this is gonna be like the one after Social Disturbance where people are like, okay.
That is a great expectation. And you're going to start filming soon, right?
June 20th. You guys caught me like super exclusive right before we're going to get started into all the action. So I'm very, very excited. Yeah, June 20th. What's that, like 8 days from now?
That is 8 days from now. Speaking of Born to Hustle, this is one of the movies that you are going to be co-directing, and you also wrote and produced. Tell me more about your director team.
So I am co-directing with Trae Ireland, and I think that he's going to take the bulk of the movie, but there's a few scenes that were very prominent to me when I was writing the script, specifically the women in their sort of intimate scenes. I wanted that to be pulled off with a women's perspective, so it was very important for me to direct those scenes specifically.
Since we're talking about exclusivity, can you give us something, I don't know, some of the juices of this movie, anything to expect, any spoilers?
Let's see. Okay, well, I can give you some juicy gossip. It is part of a trilogy. So when people see it, if there's some loose ends that are not quite tied up in a pretty bow by the end of the movie, it's because it's meant to be a trilogy. So I can tell you that. Let's see.
Wow, that's exciting. A trilogy. Wow. So there's a lot. I mean, we already know to expect a lot of the plot developing in later stages.
Yes, I described the way that we've written it is kind of like a web. So we're like on the outskirts of the web, and as we get closer and closer into where the spider is, I think a lot of people are going to be shocked by the end of the trilogy.
From the title of the movie, I'm going to branch into hustling a little bit, which is, it seems like you do a lot of that. Yes. What was the stage of your life where you felt like you're hustling, but nothing's happening and you're getting nowhere?
Oh my God, that's such a great question, and it takes me so far back, girl. So I grew up between Mexico and East LA. I kind of like went back and forth. And then the bulk of it in my teenagers was in East LA. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, I want to be this actress. I have these big dreams. You know, I got recommended to certain, schools by my teachers. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to happen, And I was working my butt off, I would say, for at least 10 years. Y nada. I'm saying nada.
10 years. Wow.
For literally 10 years and not one role. Not one. I'm going, okay, what the heck am I going to do with my life?
Well, what keeps you going after that? Like after 10 years of keep trying, you have to have great commitment, I guess.
That or insanity, a little bit of both. I think that's where I got my inspiration to play the social disturbance character. There is a certain level of blind faith to a certain degree, where it's like, okay, I'm believing for this thing and I'm having faith that it will appear. I just have to keep going. The one thing that kept bringing me back to doing it, though, is I could not see myself doing anything else. I just couldn't. I would get the side jobs, of course, as you do, before becoming a full-time actor, and I was just depressed, totally depressed. I'm like, I cannot live like this. So even if it's me dying trying, like A-list or bust, I'm just going to do it because that's the only thing that keeps me from being sad.
That's beautiful. You also were involved a lot in dancing and music as a kid. You joined a lot of dance companies. Yeah. And I just found out that you are related to Vicente Fernandez. Yes. What's that like?
Wow. Well, first of all, I miss him. I think the whole world misses him. Such a loss, But on top of that, I think there's a lot of pressure. I'd say good pressure. At least that's how I see it now. When I was younger, I'm like, oh man, I'm never going to amount to that. Thinking kind of negative. Now it's like, wow, I have a place and a voice to honor within our community. And so it's a good kind of pressure. It's been lovely and also kind of strange because, being on the rancho and just seeing him sing with Alejandro and all of that is just like, oh, those are our cousins. Like we didn't see the I guess, the bigger picture of how others see our family. So that was an adjustment period.
If I want to put one and one together and maybe do some predictions, I want to say that you were into dancing and music and you're related to Vicente, so maybe you want to put out a record at some point? I don't know. What do you think?
That is, you're definitely psychic. I will say that. I'm actually secretly, I guess not so secretly now, I'm telling you, at least you guys know, I'm working on something pretty special right now that I think the world is going to be hopefully pleased by. And yeah, I'm going to be working on some music and putting it out there, you know, after losing Jenny Rivera and obviously Vicente, there is a gap within banda music and corridos and mariachi, and so I want to at least keep that legacy going in some way.
That's so beautiful. We can't wait to see it. All right, I'm going to end with you with a game. Let's see if you're ready. Okay, it's a beautiful game, so much fun. You just have to be fast, so keep up.
Okay.
All right, let's see. I'm going to start a sentence, and you're going to have to finish it for me.
Okay.
All right. So, as a writer, my script has to include
Women of color.
That was fast. You're good. Okay. As a producer, my project needs to be
Honest and have integrity.
You're good at this. All right. As a director, I encourage my actors to do
what pleases them in the role, but also bring the authenticity of their own voice.
Wow, nice. And when I look in the mirror, I tell myself,
I can and I will.
Nice. You nailed it. Oh my God, that was fast. Thank you. You did.
The little game. Okay, yay. Yay, yay, yay.
All right, thank you so much. It was so much fun talking to you. We're so excited for all your projects. If you want to say any last word for your fans.
I always leave everybody with this. If you change your mind to a positive mindset, then you will change your day. And if you change enough days, your life will change. Thank you, guys.
I want to know more about this directorial team. How are you guys going to work together? What do you have plans for the movie?
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun because it's my first time working with her in this capacity, but been talking to her. She's very creative, knows exactly what she wants from her characters and what she wants from the movie. And we've been collaborating on our location scouts and everything. So I know it's going to be a good marriage because we agree on the storylines, what she has in store, which I can't get that kind of information out. But it's going to be really exciting. And we're both excited to do this. A lot of action we're going to have in this. She put together a great team along with Curtis Elerson, the cast. I mean, for her second film, it's going to be monumental. It's going to be good. Yeah.
I know we can't talk a lot about the plot. We don't want to burn anything, but can you give us a little bit of direction on what to expect from the movie in general?
What to expect? Well, you're gonna, yeah. It's gonna be, it's interesting because we're in this climate of it's a lot of women empowerment and a lot of women who are leading movies and just in the world in general. We have a female vice president, so therefore, just very strong female leads that are doing some things based on what their father, that was a good father to some degree, had taught them to do. In a not so good way, but I mean, they've come together to make things happen. It's seeing the empowerment of the individual sisters doing what they're doing. So you're going to see that. You're going to see the action. You're going to see some stories within that. You're going to see some messages within that. So it's just hard to be vague when you really want to be specific with things. But
yeah, I noticed you're trying to be very vague, and I'm going to respect that.
Right watching me like, you better not, because I'll give away one. Like, and then this is what happens in one scene, but no, I can't do that right now.
All right, I'm going to respect that. Let's just talk then about your preparation, because I know you're going in a few days, in a week from now. Yeah. How is everything looking?
It's looking great. Right now, we've been doing location scouts, as I said. We had a great location scout for the airport and the hangars and all that. We're going to different restaurants, just different places. Also, we're having table reads, make sure the actors know what they're doing, because my whole main thing is know your lines, do your research, be authentic with it. So we're having Zoom calls for that. the props, anything that, I mean, because we have a small crew. It's not like we're working at Sony or Paramount, so everything is falling upon Liana, Curtis, myself, and the rest of the small skeleton crews, which you call like 4 or 5 people, have to do the props and, you know, the cameras. It's everything. So, and because we're all in agreement, it's a good synergy of us coming together with this. So, yeah, even though we're 8 days away, I mean, we're really strongly prepared for it. Yeah.
So I'm going to give you one more question about Liana. Since you're working together, what can you tell us about working with her? What is maybe one of the positive and what is one of the challenges?
The positive, she's extremely dedicated. Because I've worked with her before, not in this capacity, but as an actress. You know, we worked on this horror movie called Hollow 2, Independent. You don't want to see it. But it's the fact that she really committed to those roles, and so I already know her work ethic. And so when it comes to this being her baby, you know, she's very, you know, hands-on and very diligent and serious about it. And in a way that she's collaborative. She's not like, I did it this way, it has to be this, has to be that. It's like, okay, what are we going to do together? What do you think? So it's a collaborative thing. So that's a good thing about it. The bad thing about it, I guess, the bad thing is not for me, it's for everybody else, because she doesn't rest. I don't either. So for everybody else, like, oh, she's hitting me at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, I don't mind that. For other people, it'll be like...
So you're on the clock 24 hours when you work with her.
We have the same work day, but for everybody else, it might be not so good. But hey, you got to work. That's what it is. Dedication. Let's get it.
So you're in for a beautiful, beautiful month of work.
Because I love it. So I'm ready for this. I don't sleep anyway, but other people might not like it so much.
Have fun, you guys. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Appreciate you. All right. Thank you.
We have to talk to Curtis here because he is the producer on Born to Hustle. So maybe we can get a little bit more information. Everyone was very vague up till now. We're hoping to get a lot more information from you. What can you tell us?
I can tell you everything when the movie come out. When the movie come out.
He didn't say anything. That's not helpful. All right, let's talk about the production. Going into an indie project when you have to depend on your resources a lot, yourself a lot, and your small team. How is that like?
It could be stressful, but if you have a strong team, it's pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not trying to make it like it's easy, but it's definitely, you don't run into the problems when you're working with people that know what they're doing, definitely resourceful, have connections. I mean, we can crew up and shoot in a month. So, I mean, I do it all the time, you know what I'm saying, with small budget, no budgets, low budgets. But yeah, if you got a team, you can make it happen. Just everybody has to be on the same page. You can't have these fantasy people talking about, oh, I could do this and I could do that, and they don't have any hookups, and you're dependent on them to pull their weight, you got a problem.
Yeah. I hope you don't face any of those problems in your movie because it looks like you got it all together. You guys are doing a great job. Is it your first collaboration with Liana, and how is it like working with her?
Well, it's our first collaboration, but not our first movie together. Actually, I did a movie with her where she was the co-star in 2018 in Cleveland. I flew her all the way out to Cleveland because I trusted her skills, and like I said, she played next to the lead. She was the lead female in the movie, and it came out great. It's called Hey, Mr. Postman. You got to go see it. She did a great job.
Great. Thank you so much for chatting with us. We wish you luck in your movie.
No problem. She thought she was going to get the secrets from me. Not so fast.
We didn't get anything, but anyway, we got the Born to Hustle that's coming soon. It will probably be released by next year?
Oh, no. Well, maybe. I'm trying to hit for Christmas because everybody's sitting around watching movies during Christmas. So hopefully we get a release date right around Christmas. I would love to release it during the holidays when everybody is in front of the TV.
All right. We'll keep you updated then. Thank you.